Hello, my name is Brittany D. I am a psychic medium and spiritual teacher. My divine purpose is to assist in the expansion of the collective consciousness and to help you become more connected with the divine. This is a space to remember all that you truly are and ignite the possibilities of your highest potential. Hello, 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 and thank you for being present with me in this now moment. This week's podcast episode, I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys a podcast where I was featured as the guest. This is the What the Shuck podcast, and I will be sure to drop the link below. But it was such a great interview. It was such a great interaction. It was a great conversation that I really wanted to make sure to share it with my audience as well. So I hope you guys enjoy.
And welcome to the What the Shuck podcast. The goal of the What the Shuck podcast is to provide a platform to people with positive and influential ideas that have either helped to change my life or that may help to change your life. My next guest is a spiritual teacher and literally one of my favorite people in the world. Miss Brittany D is in the house. We're actually in her house, but I'm really excited about it. She's on the What the Shuck podcast. We're here in Louisville, Kentucky, and welcome so much. Thank you for coming on. We've been talking about this forever, and I'm really excited about it.
I'm so grateful. It finally aligned. It's beautiful.
Yes. So my friend Brittany is quite the lovely person. She has vibes. She has energy off the charts. And she honestly, I was talking to a friend about you and was like, I'm having this girl on my podcast. And I was like, whoa, I literally felt your energy. And I was like, that's what this lady puts off. I was like, she doesn't know, or I was like, she does know it. I literally told my friend, I was like, she doesn't know it, but right now. And I was like, wait, she knows it. I was like, she's putting off these vibes on purpose. And it's just so important to live with intent. We were talking about earlier, just things that we face in life, the challenges that we go through. You've had quite the spiritual journey. You've transformed a lot. You've found yourself in ways that even your mom is literally I literally at first was like, what is happening right now? But once she saw the end result, she's like, this was literally what was supposed to happen.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Talk a little bit about the challenges of finding yourself and sometimes having to take not necessarily the most conventional route. Because you obviously have. You know what you're talking about. You live with so much intent. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So to start with, just so that some people don't have my backstory that might be tuning in.
None of them, sorry.
So, no, that's okay.
Unless you're one of B-Boyle's.
Yeah. No, it's fine. You can call me B-Boyle. You've been knowing me for a while.
Okay.
So what happened is that I went to, high school, met Shuck, and then I went to college, played the college lacrosse, did the whole typical, what I was supposed to do step after step. And then my sophomore year of college, I just knew, it was just this knowing deep down inside of me, and everything in the universe was conspiring, showing me that this knowing was the way that I was supposed to go. And so it made no logical sense. If you're looking at it from a logical, tangible reality sense, it made no sense to leave. I'm 4.0 in college, playing lacrosse. I'm totally supported by my family and, financially doing great. And I decided to sell all of my belongings, including my car I just gave away. I had a $6,000 Hyundai Santa Fe. And in college, it's a pretty decent car to have.
You definitely had a nice car.
Yeah. and where I was living was my mom's property. She owns a bunch of real estate. So I got super cheap. I was just set up in a really good position. And I sold every single one of my belongings except for what could fit in my backpack. And so the goal was that I had to let go of all material items except for what I could carry on my back. Mm-hmm. And so it was primarily survival gear because I was going to take off into the world to travel. And so you don't need, my little crystals or what, you got to bring what you actually need. Mm-hmm. And then I got dropped off actually in Red River Gorge. I got dropped off at Miguel's Pizza, which if you're in, Kentucky area, then Miguel's. Now, at that time, it was just a climber's little domain. Not many people even knew about Miguel's at this point. And then we stayed there and we hung out with climbers, and then there was this situation that happened with my partner's dog. And she actually got into a fight. This is crazy, the way the universe works. The dog, I was with my partner, and our dog got into a fight with my mom's dog the night before we left. So we had my stepdad drop us off in the woods. And so we didn't know, but she had a gash in the back of her mouth, and she was bleeding, but she was swallowing it. So we didn't know. And then slowly, over a week or two time, she got so lethargic that she couldn't move. And we were like, what is going on with her? She literally looks like she's dying. And so anyways,
oh my gosh.
Yes, we literally sell all of your belongings. And the whole world thinks you're literally fucking nuts. And then you take off into the woods, and within 2 weeks, your dog's dying. And you're like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? And so then we actually called the person that she got the dog from, because they were breeders. And they told us to give her, they said, do you have tuna? And of course, we have tuna packets. We're camping. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, do you have tuna? We gave her 2 cans of tuna. And I kid you not, she was back within 3 days. 2 cans of tuna.
That's the dog secret.
The dog secret. I swear. It's nuts, but I guess the fish oil is really helpful. I mean, we nurtured her and stuff once we found the gash and saw the blood and realized what was going on. But the 2 cans of tuna changed the whole game. But anyways, after that, we knew that we had to get to more of a safe place, because she was healing now at this point. And so then we stayed with a friend, and then we went and stayed with another friend. And this is all still in Eastern Kentucky, which, we were in Louisville. And so anyways, then we ended up hitching a ride with someone out to Colorado. And then from there, that's when things really kicked off, because we were like, yes, we made it out of Kentucky. Yes! Now we're traveling. Let's do it. And then soon as that energy shifted and we were like, we're really doing this, then everything started falling into place. Everything started taking off. The money started showing up. All the supplies we needed, everything just started aligning perfectly to support this journey of traveling. And so I traveled all over the United States, and then also 5 different countries, all primarily backpacking. And that was whenever I left school, I knew it was I don't know who I am. I'm just kind of bumbling around trying to figure myself out, and it's really expensive to figure myself out this way.
Yeah, I totally understand.
And so when I decided to travel, yes, it was kind of minimal living, because you just have what you have on your back, and you're not used to that, and you're used to a regular bed and all those comforts and things. But when you're in that state of having no comforts and it's only you and that experience, you really get to know yourself on a whole nother vibration and a whole nother dimension, really. And so that was the first step. Taking that leap of selling all of my shit and taking off into the world, that was my first step in my spiritual awakening. And then whenever I ended up, through the travels after that, built a whole homestead. We're on 62 acres, went from nothing to having it all. Yeah. Totally built myself. And together, my partner, we supported each other. And we had 52 chickens and roosters and 18 rabbits and 6 ducks and 2 dogs, 62-acre property, 3 different ponds, actual fishing ponds, a creek down the middle, just living on this beautiful property. And then we realized that we were we're not working. This whole project and what we're doing works really well, but us in a relationship doesn't work. Mm-hmm. It's not working anymore. And it's we were forcing ourselves to stay together because all of these other things were going so well. And so then when we decided to separate, that I went straight from, having a community, having woofers work under me and all these animals and all these responsibilities to I'm back in an apartment and it's just me again. Mm-hmm. And so then I spent it was 6 months in an apartment in literally the woods. I was in Cottersport, Pennsylvania, which is a very, very small town. Like there's like one little square and it's very remote. And I spent 6 months in by myself, like just really isolated in the middle of the mountains. I had no family. I didn't know anyone in Cottersport because we had lived in the town over. So she stayed there and I moved to the town that I was working in. And so I knew maybe like 3 people from work. But I really was connecting with most people through like online, calling my friends, that kind of a thing. So most of my time was spent by myself. And that 6 months in that apartment that's when I found God, because I found myself.
Yeah.
And so then from there, once I knew who I was, once I found my purpose, and once like all of my whole like, team and God and everyone was like, we're going to support you in this. Why don't you do this? I was like, okay, so I'm supposed to do it. Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's taken work, as you know, but it has completely taken off. And I have been able to help heal hundreds of people and help people along their own spiritual journey and through their awakenings. And it's happening on a massive level right now. The collective is going through a mass awakening themselves. And so it's really like, to me, it was all just so perfect, the timing of everything, watching, how things unfolded. And now I'm like, wow, I can't believe the life that I live every day. I wake up every single day and get to say, what do I want to do today?
Truly. You choose, though.
What do I want to do today? Yeah. Like literally, because what I've also learned, and this is like, kind of in that more law of attraction category, is that I've learned that the way that I feel, how I feel, is far more important than anything that I do. Mm-hmm. The action, yes, action is important. I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at without my actions. But how I feel about myself and how I feel about what I do, and the vibration and the love and the energy, like you said, like you felt that energy, that goes so much further. It goes so much further than any action. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's important for me to go to the gym, and I have my morning maintenance, my spiritual maintenance that I do every single morning, and my routine, and like all those things are very important and do contribute to who I am and how I am able to do what I do. But the fact that I took the leap and trusted spirit enough, even though I felt literally blinded at the time, my whole family, like literally my whole family thought I was nuts. There was not a single person that was on my side. Mm-hmm. Like every single one of them were just like, I love you anyways, but you're fucking losing it right now. Like you are losing it. Like you have it made. It's a red carpet. You're doing fabulous, literally 4.0, playing college lacrosse. Like I'm so supportive. Yes, exactly.
What society is telling you you're supposed to love, but you were like, ugh.
Yes, I was like, there's still something missing, and I'm like, I don't know myself.
I'm typing these formulas in that are supposed to be correct, and they're not correct for me. What the heck?
Exactly, and you know what? Yeah, exactly. It's for me. Mm-hmm. Like for someone else, that may fit perfectly. That may be their perfect path and exactly where God wants them, and do that. But for me, it was just. I was way off. My life is much more spiritual, much more cosmic, much more about many more happenings than what's happening on earth and what we experience here in tangible reality. Like something that Abraham Hicks says is like the in the vortex, like that vibrational reality. That vibrational reality is something that's what I have a great time in the vibrational reality. And having a great time in the vibrational reality creates a beautiful, tangible reality. Mm-hmm. But what happens is people get really caught up in the tangible reality, and they pay so much attention to where they are at that time, instead of dreaming and instead of visioning and instead of calling in the next version of themselves, that they stay here because that's what they're giving their time and their attention and their energy to. Where I'm like always dreaming of the next version of myself. I'm always calling in the next version of myself. I'm always ready to accelerate and expand. And so that's what's constantly happening because that's where my attention is. It's not over here. And none is better or worse. That's just my path. That's just what I want to do, is expand. That's what I feel truly is my purpose. I feel like I am source, our creator, expanding in consciousness. That's what I think all of this is. And so my duty, as knowing that I am source, is to expand.
Truly.
That's all, like, that's really what I'm supposed to do, is just expand.
Yeah. And people, like, there are things that you will say that I'm just like, I literally don't know what she's talking about, but I literally do know what she's talking about. And it's just like, there are things that people are going to use vehicles to get to where they want to go. And it's like, I resonate with what you're saying. Like, even when there are things I'm just like, what cosmic universe thing, what, but the things that you were saying resonate with me constantly. I'm like, dude, she's right. I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about, but she's right as fuck.
Well, and here's the thing is that, and that's kind of my belief, is that like we're all saying the same thing different ways. This is just the way that my mind understands it. And that's what I mean by my path. My path is more cosmic. I like to tap into the other dimension, blah, blah, blah. But we're all doing that, even if we're saying it, even if we're communicating a different way. It's like the same as like God. It's like we're all talking about the same being. We can label it a bunch of different ways, and we can say, try and articulate it the way that we as an individual comprehend it. But we're all saying the same thing, law of attraction, manifestation, all of it. We're saying the same thing in a gajillion different ways. This is just the way I say it, you know?
Like, that's why I enjoy talking to you so much, is it's like a different language. It's like you speak it English, I speak it Spanish, right? But it's we're saying the same things. It's like I get what you're saying. Like, I just actually can loosely translate it, so I do understand. Right. It's just like laws of attraction are so important. The shit you speak out there, and because I'm like, I'm gonna make this Rock Around the Mountain Christmas album happen, and it was just like, and then the Lord given was like, here you go, bro. He's like, what are you gonna do with it though?
Right.
And it's like, shit. Was I thinking when I said that? Was I ready for that responsibility? And it's like when you challenge the universe, like when I got challenged by a relationship issue.
Right.
It's like I said, this is the biggest week of the What the Shuck podcast. And when you challenge the universe, it said, bitch, you better
Here you go. Yeah.
We'll be ready for it then. And I was like, oh shit. And if the universe will literally give you what you ask for, it really will.
It's a mirror. It's a great mirror. It's just a big, great mirror. And and I would just like to touch upon, in my experience, it's more than just what you say. It's what you think. It's what you feel. It's your overall vibration of what you're putting out, which is an average of what you think, what you feel, how you're talking to yourself.
So you are.
Yes. Exactly. Your state of being, your vibration. And so, but it's just and that's the thing, is like people get caught up with,
I fucking love you.
I love you too. People get caught up with the law of attraction, in the great mirror, is that they're like, well, I wanted $52,000, but I didn't, if someone gets gifted a car, they're like, I wanted $52,000 cash. I didn't want it in car form.
Gotta be specific.
But there was something, what it has to be, the only thing that it can be, because the laws of the universe is laws of the universe across the board, doesn't matter who the fuck you are. There's something in that person's vibration that said, well, I want everyone to know that I have $52,000. So it's in a car. Or it could be so many different things that you don't realize that's the frequency and the vibration that you're sending out. But the universe is going to send you your exact vibration. It's not going to send you what you're dreaming of. It's going to send you exactly the state of being that you're putting outwards. It's just a reflection. And so a lot of people focus on the doing and what they need to do. And it's like, you got to focus on your state of being, what you're doing overall, not just in these simple actions, how you feel about it, how you think about it, and it's something that you really have to take an intentional journey on. Yeah. You have to really
it's the most important thing you do.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It is. It's every moment of your life. And, and I think too, that's also why, like how I was telling you about how I'm doing the 2-day workshop on money, is because money is like one of the biggest thing that people get tripped up with when it comes to the law of attraction. And I'm like, guys, it's no different. It's no different than any other thing. It's just another thing. But because we have so much pain around it, and because there's so many wounds and so much scarcity and so much fear that's been instilled to us, programmed into us, people have like, it's almost like they put it, and I did it too, so I totally understand, but it's almost like they put it in this whole other category. Well, money is totally different. All these other things I can attract into my life, but money,
even though it's created by man too, or the universe,
right.
Whatever it's been created by, it's like,
it's just the same as manifesting a keychain into your reality tomorrow. It's the same thing. The only reason why it seems more difficult is because your vibration with it, you haven't healed. You haven't gone on an intentional journey of addressing this and clearing your vibration up, so that way there's not all this resistance and all these beliefs about it. But whenever you go on that journey, which what made me think of it is like, it affects all it. Money has made it into every crevice of our reality. Mm. If there's any, law of attraction is very important, but so is with money. Money is so important in our reality. It's such a huge part of our reality. And whenever, like, I'm sure there's probably even people watching this, when someone start talking about money, they get tight. Yeah. And resistant. And it's
I don't have very much in my pocket. I'm going.
Yes.
Gives a shit.
Yes. Exactly. And not even that, but it's about, see, on my money journey, this is literally one of my steps in my healing, was to, just like with all the material items, how I had to sell all of my shit and let it go. I kept spending all of my savings, consciously knowing that I had to get to a point where I had no money and still feel so fucking abundant. It wasn't even right. Mm-hmm. Be so happy with the little bit of money that I had and be so grateful for that. And so present with that, because when I had an abundance of it, I couldn't figure out what abundance was without not having money. Does that make sense?
Totally.
It kept me super safe and comfortable when I always knew that I had that fat stack of cash of savings that I've, buried away over all these years.
What are you saving, though?
Well, and then savings isn't bad. Savings is healthy.
Yeah, of course.
But in my intention,
how are you getting that savings?
Or how is it serving you too?
Yes. Yeah.
How is it serving you? What is it actually doing for you? Because if it's just keeping you comfortable in this line, then guess what? You're going to stay right fucking there. But if you make yourself really uncomfortable and then get to know what it is really like to feel abundance in all of your being without really having anything, guess what? Then you're good. That's what you want. You don't actually want the money. You want to feel fucking free. Mm-hmm. You want to be liberated from the chains of money. It's not actually money that you want. Mm-hmm. It's that you don't want this to rule your whole reality and your whole life. And so that's what it was. That's why I had to let go of it all and then still be like, life's great. I'm so fucking great. Everything's so fucking great. Everything's cool. You look at my bank account and think I was fucking nuts, but everything's great.
Yeah.
And not actually lying to myself, truly feeling that way. And so it's really, I just wanted to bring the light that people put money like as if the law of attraction or all of these vibrational things and all the, can all work with everything, literally everything else. But when it comes to money, it's like a different ball game. And it's like, no, it's a tangible thing, just like everything else in this reality. It's no different. It's energy. It's literally called currency, mm-hmm. Energy, current. Yeah. It's a vibration.
Truly. And it's just like when people are trying to lose weight and you keep like doing all these things and you're like, I can't figure out why I'm not losing weight. I'm doing all these things. And it's like, because the way that you're doing it is like not the way, like, I don't know if this is making sense, but it's just like, I find a lot of people will be like, I'm on this diet and I'm doing all these things. And it's like, but you're also telling yourself deep down.
Do you believe in it?
Yes. Right. It's like, does this diet actually work though? Right. So your body's literally like It's
not
hanging
sure.
on and it's like stuck. It's like, I'm not letting this go.
Right.
I'm not letting this feeling go because that's the feeling I'm comfortable with.
Yep.
I don't know this unknowing feeling. What might be past that might not be comfortable. And I at least know what this one feels like. And so people are not willing to sell that feeling.
Right.
To buy the new feeling.
Right.
So they're stuck with, all right, I got this shitty job it's paying my bills though. And I'm going to keep getting by. And it's like,
right.
What does that mean, though?
But there's
why
so
does
much...
Monday suck so bad for you?
Right. Exactly. Like for the week, like I
love Monday.
Exactly. And I can't even like thinking about life. Like I remember life where I lived for the weekend and I'm like, oh my God, every day is a blessing.
Yes.
Why am I living for just 2 days of the week? Every freaking day is
that means
magic.
You're a slave, literally.
Yes.
That literally means
literally.
You're like, I can't wait for the weekend. It's like, dude, I fucking like this day right now. Fucking Monday is pretty cool too, bro. Why are you hating on Monday? What did Monday do to you? Oh shit, my car didn't start today. I'm like, that happens on the weekend sometimes. Like,
right.
It's like you really hate your job is the issue, and that's what we should be talking about. Is people are like, I don't like. So don't do it then. Literally, if you hate it, it is going to make your life significantly less good. Don't do shit you hate.
But you have to, the thing is that if people take, from my experience, if people take the leap from going from their job that they know that they hate deep down and then just quit their job and, go figure something out and they have no clarity, they have no plan, they have no... Usually that is too far away. You have to vibrationally, energetically take steps towards what you are actually wanting. And so in order to do that, you have to know what you actually want, what you're going towards.
Oh yeah.
Intense
a motherfucker.
Yes, exactly. And so jump off of the ledge. I'm all about jumping off the ledge. I've done it multiple times in my life. The unknown is where the magic happens. I know, I get that. But there's also it's a balance of both. It's a balance of both. That's the best way of saying it. You also have to take intentional steps in moving vibrationally, energetically through what you're doing, how you're thinking, your state of being, how you feel towards what you actually want. And what is that goal? What does that actually look like for me? At least in this now moment.
It's like your compounding interest for your bank is like
that. But for yourself.
You're like, man, I got to keep building that shit up or that shit's going to deplenish.
Exactly.
I got to replenish that shit.
Right.
Like I got to keep putting a little bit in there. Might not be a lot, but a little bit.
Right.
And then you look back and you're like, oh shit, there's a lot in there.
Right.
But it's like, but I built that. And it's like with self-love or working on fitness or working on a business, working on a podcast. It's like, you got to work on it. You have to. It's like, it's not just going to be like, hey, Brittany, here's your successful podcast.
Right.
I've been waiting for this moment to give it to you, and I just thought you were worthy for it. Now it's like, no, bitch,
exactly.
That ain't how it works, and you're gonna have to work. And then the universe will be like, hey, Brittany, you've been working for this, and I've noticed it. Here's this blessing, and then you're like, yeah, I earned that. And when you get that shit too, you should reward yourself. You should be like, I earned that.
Yeah, celebrate it. Yeah,
I'm a beast. I'm the best. I don't care. That's the thing I've started doing is I'm the voice of Kentucky. That's my thing I've started saying is I'm the voice of Kentucky.
I love it.
And people are like, whoa, bro, that's ambitious. And I'm like, well, I mean.
What?
I'm just saying.
No, that's not ambitious. That's real. It's real shit.
Yes, I'm like, dude.
If you believe it, you'll make it happen.
And I do. I really do. And it's like, since I started saying that, these crazy things have started happening. And I'm like, you have to believe it. And I do. I literally am like, I have so much intent. And I know you're going to be successful because you have so much intent.
Already am.
But we just don't have. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. We are successful and we're doing the things that we're so passionate. And people are like, are you all crazy? Like, where do we get this thing at? And it's called just doing what we love.
Right.
It's
I saw this meme the other day and it said, you're always crazy. And then it said ... until it works.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, thank you. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times that people are like, dude, Brittany, you're nuts. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. Think I'm nuts. And then watch. Just don't believe me. Just watch. Just watch me work. And you will see. Like that's, and there was a really good piece of gold that you said, what you just said previously, is that the worthiness. And that is why you have to take steps because you have to believe that you are worthy of it. So whenever you're here and you're like, I'm going to tomorrow be an NBA player. It's like, no, that you don't feel worthy of that. You have to train, and there's certain steps that you have to do in order for, you literally could wake up tomorrow and go try out or whatever the process is. And you could, because that's possible, because we live in an infinite reality of infinite potential. But would your worthiness, would you actually feel and believe inside that you are worthy of that? No, you wouldn't. And that's why the steps and the process is so important. And people get so drained and irritated with the process. And I'm like, that's the best part.
Yes.
That's the best part.
You're getting lost in the sauce, bro.
Yes.
That's when you're supposed to be enjoying that shit.
The unfolding. It's amazing.
Yeah, because you're like, when you're celebrating all the really cool things, you're like, man, but really, why am I celebrating? It's like, because I worked so hard in that moment. It's like, so I earned it. So like, I should have enjoyed it because it brought this moment.
Right.
So like, why would I not enjoy that? Like, literally, it made me and gave me this opportunity. So it's like, why would I not be like extremely grateful? Even when it's a tough testing time. I'm like, shit, man. Fucking broke my heart. Or like something or whatever. And but then you're like, but look at this streak I got now. Yep. And it's like the universe is most certainly going to break you. But then it's up to you to say, am I going to be stronger where that broke me? Or am I going to be weaker where I broke you?
So do you mind if I'm stepping in spiritual teacher?
Okay, teacher.
Here. What we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The great mirror.
Yeah.
The universe doesn't break you. You break you. Yeah. It's a great mirror. That's all that it is. And people say that the universe tests me or that the universe pushes me or that the universe... No, stop projecting all of your shit on the spirit.
Maybe I've been testing myself. Maybe you're right.
Dude, it's a great mirror. That's what it is. So, and that...
Shit, maybe I am. Maybe I did...
There's no tests. There's no, the universe, listen, the universe, spirit is, God is just love. It is the most truest, unconditional form of love. And all it wants to do is give you exactly what you are vibrating outwards at all times. That's all it's giving you. And so when people say, oh, the universe tested me or the universe pushed me or the universe broke me to do that, it's like, no, you vibrationally invited that experience into your reality because you consciously said, I want to level up in this. And so you vibrated out, give me what I need to level up in this. And that's what gets presented in your reality.
True.
It's no test, it's no break, it's no pushing. It's you.
But I didn't need it though. Technically,
exactly.
I did.
No, it is.
That's how I.
You asked for it too.
The reality to do that,
and you asked for it.
I was like, I got to prove to myself that I'm worthy. It's that worth you're talking about building. It's like, well, I guess I got to create this stupid test, so I'm worthy. A stupid reality that I'm painting of myself.
But it's also beautiful.
That's how I was born in Appalachia. Damn it. But it's just like...
It's beautiful, though. It's a process.
It is. That's what makes it art. Like, it's just like finding who you are and the beauty within yourself. Sometimes you're going to struggle. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes it's going to be awesome. I think what you're talking about with the mirror, and that's why I literally am like, politics are so stupid. Because I'm like, the reason that we have shitty politicians is because we're a shitty country. And it's not because we're a shitty country. It's because our people are shitty. The functioning body of the government is actually a beautiful idea for democracy. It allows all the things we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. But it acts as an engine, and the engine is getting shitty-ass fuel put in there. Yep. And so we're getting shitty results.
Well, and I think, too, a big part of it is just people have not paid attention. Mm-hmm. People have paid no attention. And I'm guilty of it, too. I don't judge nobody. I'm not judging nobody for nothing. But I know that I have, and I know that there are millions of people that have not paid attention for hundreds of years. And then all of a sudden now we're like, oh, fuck, maybe I should have been paying more attention to that. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's really important. It's like what all of your freedoms and your liberties are revolving around. And I remember when I was traveling, I stayed at this property. It was called Skunk Ranch in Northern California. It was 365 acre. Yeah.
What was it called?
You're right. No, NorCal. But anyways, there was this, the guy who ran the place, his name is Brian Hill. Beautiful soul. And he told me And I remember it like, so this was like almost 8 years ago now. And I just remember we had the wood fire stove crackling and we were sitting in a chair and we were drinking our evening tea. And he started talking about politics and asking me about politics. And I was basically like, Brian, why do you want to talk about this tonight? Like, can't we just talk about something else? And, you know, he's almost 80 years old at this point. And he's just like looking at me and he's like, you have no idea how much this politics affect your life and your reality. He said, it's all politics. And I didn't know at that time. I'm like, dude, you're just fucking into it. That's what it is. It's all of your world. You know, I'm like, you don't know, whatever. Old, 80-year-old man who's traveled the world. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, me, young 20, I'm like, you know what you're talking about? No. Now I see exactly what he was trying to say that whole night. Like, it's almost like I can tap back into the conversation and remember, because he was really trying to get me to open my consciousness to understand that this, like, he was like rolling with Woody Harrelson and like the people at the front of the redwoods, like when the woman went up in the redwood tree, and like he was one of he was like the 70s hippies, you know, like he was in that movement. And so he got really involved with it, and he really started to understand how much politics affect down to like my little, room that we're sitting in. It affects it. And
zoning, districting, like people don't think of that. It's like that is literally a fundamental thing that you are voting for.
Yes.
The taxes that you pay, what those taxes are going towards, the road that you drive on, the hospitals that you go to, the school that you go to. That's all affected by
your
politics.
Driver's license, your freedom, everything you can do, everything.
If you can have an abortion or if you can marry someone of a different sex, it's somehow decided by our government.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's nuts. And I remember him saying that and me thinking like, politics is like its own thing. Like, no, it's like same idea. It's like money is its own category. No, it's all intertwined. It's very intertwined. And we're really starting to see that and learn that. Like 2020, I feel like made that abundantly clear how much, because of the difference of the laws, and no matter what, if you're over here, you got to act this way. And if you go to this state, then you got to act it. And it's like, holy shit, dude. I didn't even know.
Our mayor means something?
Yeah.
Like what? The mayor? Who even knows what the mayor's
name?
Yeah. The mayor.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we've been very ignorant because we've been fucking spoiled.
Yes, that's the thing. And honestly, I was very fortunate that when I went to college, that was what I went to college for, was government and history. So I was reading texts by like Plato, and I was like, shit, this stuff's important.
Yeah.
I was like, the Republic, we got to like protect that shit. Like it's up to us.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, what are the politicians? I was like, what are the politicians? That means that we're the people that are thinking these ideas and we're putting them into place. It's like the mirror that you're talking about. And it's like we're seeing what we are and we're acting as. And people are like, I'm surprised Donald Trump acts like that. I'm like, have you ever like followed someone on Facebook?
Right.
Everyone acts like that.
Right.
And then they're like, I can't believe Donald Trump acts like that. Or like Joe Biden. And I'm like,
right.
When the next person's in line, that's going to be the scapegoat too.
Right.
So like, quit, like you're laying all these
issues. It is a reflection of our collective.
So we literally have to, if we know that though, stop saying, all right, it's Donald Trump's fault and it's Joe Biden's fault, and saying it's my fault.
Yeah.
It's just like your health with your body. I can fundamentally tell you for a fact, I feel like I know that we can come back as a country because I look at myself when I weighed 400 pounds and I'm like, if I can come back from that, when doctors are like, dude, you're going to die in 10 years and like you got no hope and all these goals that you have in your life, you can't make it happen, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, no, like that sounds horrible. Like I got to change.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I believe in comeback, like 100%. And I think that we're going to do it. I really do. But I think that it took the awareness.
We got to do it, though.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It's
the only way. Yeah.
The collective.
Yep, exactly.
It's literally, the democracy is the people. So if you're tired of Donald Trump and the way he acts on Twitter, then do something to be more positive.
Right.
Don't just complain about it.
Right.
Or if you're tired of the way Joe Biden smells people, then I don't know, whatever you got to do to complain about something, find a solution to that complaint. That's
Educate
just what I really...
yourself. Education, your consciousness, your mind goes so far.
It's such a tool.
It is our ultimate tool. It is like,
that's why they don't want us to be educated. Though,
I know,
because it's a weapon.
Yeah,
it's the ultimate weapon, and we can use it to terraform our own reality.
Yep.
And they do not want us to know that. So like, here's TV. Numb yourself. Here's this stupid ass book that's about something that's not going to help you grow. That's why we're censoring these books that weirdly do make your mind expand. And then you're like, I don't know if we should put that in school.
Dude, I have been censored because I openly talk about the Matrix and breaking yourself out of it and all of these ways that they have controlled our minds. And honestly, I'm surprised that you haven't. I really am surprised if you talk about this stuff on your podcast, because it's definitely
They definitely have algorithms that are like, oh, you said this word? Nope,
yep,
you're out.
You're out. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Without a doubt. And sometimes,
scary,
sometimes on my
That's
story,
1984 shit.
I know. Sometimes on my story, whenever, like, cause I know some of the words and I'll be like, and I'll just like mouth it out so that way they can't hear it. So that, but just like, you know, because we do have to become more aware of it. But I wanted to also, while we're talking about this and their level of control and power, is that I think that this very is very connected to money, and the money is the way that they control us. Like you were saying, you're literally enslaved. Yes,
Chase it.
exactly.
Quit looking over here. Don't look at this thing. Look at this.
And so whenever you liberate yourself,
$20. Like you said, you're like thinking about people were listening to us. And they're like, man, how much money I got?
Yes.
Oh, shit. The people are, who's watching us? Like, dude, you're the one that's freaking yourself out.
Right.
Like, but what are you being distracted by because of that? And you're like, you're distracting yourself from something.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, they're doing something that they want to distract us all about.
Are you all
yes, doing? Exactly.
And then they're like, it's Donald Trump and it's Joe Biden. I'm like, that's a funny distraction too that I'm not falling for.
Right. Exactly. They just keep pointing it every different way so you don't look at that.
Probably more like the people who made this computer, honestly.
Well,
sadly.
I think that it has a lot to do from being just totally transparent, and hopefully this doesn't get censored, is I think it has to do with the people that own the banks.
Yeah.
Because they are the richest people in the world.
Federal Reserve.
And they're
like, we don't want you to stop using that.
Yes, exactly. And they
Actually,
literally
want you to use this
print
metal thing
money
now.
like it's not like to them. It's like we're spending, as the little guy down here, we're spending so much of our life, like a majority of our life revolved around how to obtain this thing, which we call money, while they're up here printing it out like it's no big deal. We're like, let's put more money out. Let's print. Let's spend another $100. You should say, yeah.
Oh, we owe China more billions.
Right.
Like,
print some more. Shoot up the printer. Let's get going. You know. And so that's why, for me, it was so important on my journey. Oh, did it go out again?
I don't know why that keeps happening. Damn you, bud.
That's why for me, it was so important on my journey to liberate myself from money, because that is how they control. That is how they control your mind. That's how they control what you do. That's how they keep you in a cycle. That's how they keep you in that's how they keep you running, distracted instead of actually paying attention to what's going on and doing something about that. And so that's why I'm so passionate about teaching people about money and liberating people from their money things and becoming more free, having more freedom around it, because I truly feel that is a major component in what's going to help us get out of this. Is because if we all stopped paying attention to how they are controlling and having these strings like we're puppets, if we stopped running for this thing, then we'll actually start looking at what's happening and give more energy and attention to fixing that. But if we literally can't put food on our table and pay our rent, then of course we can't think about that.
Yeah.
I don't have time for space for that. I got to make sure I can get by.
How am I not eating right now?
Yes, exactly. So it's going to be a huge part of the collective shifting and being able to work together more cohesively and with more cooperation. I do believe in an earth where we're not competitive and we're not jealous of each other and we're working together and we're all trying to help each other. And there's not this, this resistance and this, like even on Black Friday, people pulling the boxes out of each other's hand, like, what? It's
You're
just
so wealthy that you're like, I need that, not you.
Yeah.
Not you. I need it. It's like,
and you don't, it's just, to me, that's all just distraction. Yeah, it's just all part of this show and this thing they're trying to get you in. It's like,
I'm the best Jones. It's like, who cares who the
yes,
Jones are?
Exactly. I'm the best Jones. I love that.
Macy's. I like to wear nice shit. I like to look nice.
Yes.
I like to present myself, but it's like, it's just, if you use that because that's like what you're using to tell yourself that you love yourself.
Right.
There's a difference between me and like, I actually like to look this way because it's something I think
it makes you feel
my
good.
Personality.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. Yeah.
Or you're like, I'm buying this because really I hope that it's going to make me feel better.
Or I hope that other people are going to perceive me differently than how I actually feel about myself.
This Gucci watch.
Yes.
Like,
they're going to know my worth because look.
I'm Gucci.
It's like, no, stop. You don't have to prove yourself, honey. You have an inherent worth just because God made you.
You're here.
You're here. You exist.
You are. That's one thing that I think so many people need to hear is just you are literally 100% worth your own love.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you're worth everything, not even just your own love. You're worth anything you want, anything you desire, just because you exist.
The fact that you can even think it is why you should be able to deserve it.
Yes.
It's like you were given that thought. You were given that power to be like, I want to own the What the Shuck podcast and be the voice of Kentucky and have the best whatever you want to do. And it's like, well, then it's your moral obligation to go do it then.
Right. Exactly.
If there's a reason that you're telling yourself that you need to go do it, then all out, brother.
Exactly.
Or sister.
And I think that it's, the fact that like people forget that God, like, or maybe they just don't have a connection to God, but it made you, like you specifically. Like, do you know how much intention and like, you know how much it took to create you with all of your, there's no one else in this entire universe that's like you. You don't think that that's for a fucking reason?
You're literally you're more rare than diamonds are.
Yes, exactly.
Like your brain, the way your brain works is like one in
and your personality
and trillions of diamonds, crazy diamonds, and you can be a flawed diamond, but like it's like, I mean, but there's a billion of those. I'd rather be I'd rather be a pebble that has a flaw than be like a diamond that's like, oh, look how perfect I am. Well, I'm the unique pebble.
There are no flaws, though. That's the thing. But that's the thing, though.
I know.
You're perfect.
God
made you exactly.
Myself.
No, but it's the truth. God made you exactly. There is no flaws. It's not real. There are no. The flaws was made up. And it was made up to make you feel not worthy. And then they could take all these things from you and make you work for your worth. And it's like, no, I'm perfect exactly as I am. I don't have to change anything. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to show anybody anything. I don't have to do anything different. Nothing. I am exactly as I am. It's perfect. Because God made it that way. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like literally, like I there was like, hello, Austin. This is the thing that you will do. And I was like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's like not always going to be like something that's like, hey, bro, you're going to do this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's usually like something kind of just like, you're like walking through the hallway.
Yes.
And then you like knock something over. And then when you knock it over, you're like, oh shit, there's that thing I've been looking for.
Yes.
And you're like, oh wow, I need to probably actually uncover that. And it's like.
And that's why presence is so important because you'll miss it otherwise.
Yes.
If you're moving super fast and you knock that thing over and you're like, oh, I knocked that over and you keep moving. Underneath it is a whole pile of gold. You just knocked over it and it's all right there. But you're moving so fast that you didn't see it. And the universe is always trying to give you that. Hey, I'm here.
Literally, this is yours. Pick it up. It's for you. Everyone needs you to actually give this to the world. You have this gift that you keep leaving wrapped up. And for some reason, you know that it's you. Mm-hmm. So why aren't you giving it to the world? Right. There's a reason that you are having this calling. You might be weird and all your little quirks that you have. And it's like, but that's you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more that we all, each as individuals, start to remember our innocence and remember our purity as God's children, as we are created, the more that we will all, the vibration of the collective is going to raise the more that we all remember. And that's why my whole life revolves around that. Because I want any time, whether it's as simple as an interaction of listening to me for an hour, or if it's, having known you for 10 years, or I just talk to you for 5 minutes in the post office, doesn't remember. I want you to remember the divinity that exists within you, to remember that purity and that sacredness that's existing within you, and ignite it. Hopefully, if I actually get a chance to work with you, then I can ignite it and you can feel it in your being and be able to live that out more instead of this. It's so interesting how they've done this over hundreds of years, suppressed our uniqueness as if it's wronged or a flaw, and put us in these boxes and chase after this thing that we're going to label money. And like, when you really think about it, you're like, holy fucking shit, they've really put some time into.
Oh yeah, our masters are like pretty thoughtful.
Yeah,
like, damn, y'all have been thinking about this shit for years. And then you were like, here, son, this is exactly how you do this, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and it's also beautiful, and the process of it is just a gift, all of it.
There's a grandiose moment to find in everything if you look for it. I mean, it's just like, if you don't, like, that's each and every moment. The fact that you were willing to give me your time means a lot to me. Like you were saying, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or an hour, or you're like, I met you 10 years ago, or I met you 1 minute ago. It's like, I'm trying to give you substance because I know that will provide me substance.
Right. And it's your presence. That's what time is. It's your like you're being present with me. I just wrote, I don't know if you saw, but I was featured on Global Thrive, that article. And that was, I put in it said one of the 5 tips that you would give for entrepreneurs to scale or social media online business. And one of my 5 tips was being present with the person that you're interacting with. Because that, you call it your time or whatever you call it, but your presence, there's nothing more important than your presence, than your attention, than your time. There's not that you can't get back. And so when you give that to someone, like right now, it's just
we haven't been looking at phones. We haven't been like, we've literally just been having conversations since the moment that I walked in here. It was Brittany Boyle.
It's okay.
Brittany D and Austin Shuck literally just talking and enjoying each other and being like, I respect you and love you because you're giving me my time, or you're giving me your time.
And vice versa. Yes, yeah, exactly. It's there's nothing more like, and also there's like, we have plenty of time.
I could be working on a million other things though, and you could be working on a million other things.
Yes.
But the fact that you were like, this means enough to my mission.
Right.
And me talking to you means enough to my mission.
Right.
Means that we obviously, even though we're not on the same, like,
precise path.
But we obviously resonate that there are tools that I'm using that you can get resonance with, and you have tools that I can resonate with, and hopefully the people that listen to my podcast can grow from, and hopefully the people that listen to your podcast can grow from.
Exactly.
And it's like, we all don't have the exact same like roadmap to success, but it's like, it is definitely up to us to paint that roadmap, but it's going to look different. But there are definitely things you can learn from other people, and it's really important that you are open.
Right.
But as you bloom, you're not also like, all right, this is how that other person's blooming as a flower, so that's how I'm supposed to do it.
Right.
It's like, don't get caught up.
It's that balance. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, some people have a podcast like this, but don't be like, this is how my podcast is supposed to be. It's like, be your podcast.
Right.
Be you. Do
exactly.
You. Where can people find you at?
Well, I have my website,
okay,
divinityexperiencing.com. I'm also on Instagram, Divinity Experiencing. And you're welcome to add me on Facebook. I'm kind of, my friends list is getting kind of big, but I'm deleting people. So, which is Brittany D, Deigh. And my podcast is also Divinity Experiencing, which is on Apple and Spotify. It's Divinity Experiencing, Expand Your Consciousness is the theme. And it's all kinds of expansive chats.
And the last thing that I always like to do, I'll go ahead and fill everyone in on what I'm doing real quick, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
But I am working on the Rockin' Around the Mountain, the Christmas album, the Appalachian Christmas album. I've put together a pretty good lineup these people have been extremely receptive to this, and it's been very beautiful to see how quickly this project has come together. But the goal is to provide 12 families with a Christmas $500 a piece. So it's going to take $6,000. So I'm getting sponsors, I'm taking donations, but we're going to be having a concert on Friday the 19th or either the 20th. We're trying to lock down the exact date. We do know we have the cabin and everything, but just logistically trying to solidify. But that will be either of those days. And then the album will either be dropping on the 20th or the 21st. The guy that'll be playing on the 19th or 20th, or the 18th or 20th, is going to be Clark Six, and he'll be featured in the album. But I'm really excited about this. It's a great opportunity to showcase the talents of our area, but also help people out. So it's a very beautiful thing. But last but not least, we'll be doing that. But what's the impact you want to leave?
Simple statement. Remember who you are, like who you truly are. It's major service to the collective. Coming back home to your true self. There's nothing better you can do for yourself and for everyone in this existence.
That's beautiful. I love you. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been incredible. We've had a great talk. I'm not surprised. But thank you for giving me your time.
Thank you, truly.
And that's it. We're out. Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed that episode. Please subscribe, leave a review, and if this was impactful for you at all, please share it with others. This is how we can help each other. Much love and namaste.